the consistency.
The cost of the suffering is fixed.
If people can learn to focus.
And this is really the level of discipline that is required.
The big challenge of life.
We'll keep repeat. The consistency is the most difficult thing.
Just doing it every day.
Yes, every day.
Do you ever wake up and you say, I don't want to do it today?
I fight against my mind. Yes, sometimes it's happened. We are all human beings. We are not happy every day. We are, not in a good mood every day. It's normal. It's part of us.
What do you do to overcome that?
I fight against that. It's the big challenge. It's when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. This is the main point. This is why I say our mind, it's a box of surprises, and you have to challenge yourself to be consistent. I repeat, sometimes it's hard. It's what many people say, you like to go to the gym every day. Of course, no. It's not true. Nobody likes to go to the gym every day. But you have to do it. Probably yes, because your mental strength is coming from that moments, that in a hard moment, you should do it. So, and I do it because after that, maybe in the beginning you feel hard to start, but after when you finish the gym or cold plunge or even the training, you will feel better. I think it's the big key there.
Is that the cost of the suffering is fixed. And what's beautiful about that is what we're looking for is arbitrage in the difference between our suffering and what we get for it. But the beauty is our suffering is relatively fixed. Life is hard. But what we get for our lives is what we get to pick. And I think that's pretty cool. We get to pick how big we want our goals to be. And so this fixed cost, let's say someone says to you, whatever your life savings is, whatever the amount is, your life savings is a lot of money to you. It's your life savings. If someone says, I'm going to take your life savings and you get one thing, wouldn't you make that one thing worth giving your life savings for? And so it's the same idea, is that your cost is going to be suffering. It's going to be uncertainty. It's going to be criticism. It's going to be mistakes. It's going to be failures. It's going to be feeling stupid. It's going to be looking cringe. It's going to be being embarrassed. That's your cost. And so the question is, most people trade it for a bag of chips. They trade it for Netflix. They trade it for staying in on the weekend, right? They trade it for sleeping in. And that's why it feels even worse, because you traded your life savings, you traded your life for something that wasn't worth it. And so we can't control this one, but we can control this one. And I think that's the value. So it brings me to my second thing. You can beat 99% of people if you can master the shame of rejection, the boredom of repetition, and the pain of feedback. You can beat almost anyone at anything if you're willing to fail 20 times in a row, look stupid in front of people that you care about, and keep going long after it stopped being convenient. So let me unpack that for a second. In 20 hours, most people can achieve a base level of competence in just about any skill. And that includes money-making skills. That's what's crazy. You want to learn sales? Your first 20 hours of sales, you will learn more about sales than all of the videos and all the books you've ever read. Because you have so much more feedback because you're actually doing it. That's the thing, is that you need feedback cycles to learn.
I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're sad. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if the markets are crashing. I don't care if your girlfriend just broke up with you. You are getting it done no matter what. And this is really the level of discipline that is required in order for you to succeed. You either did it or you didn't. And this is really going to help you internalize a very important lesson. Results are rooted in reality, not your perception. In life, you either put in the work and you did it or you didn't. And this mindset rewiring alone is powerful enough to change your life forever. I've used this countless of times over the years.
I think it's something that is a constant. They think that maybe once I get it, I'm going to hold on to it. And that's the thing about that I was telling you, that I always talk about. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation. You have to learn to perform without purpose. You have to learn to perform a lot of different things. And that's what people think. They think I need to have this motivation to work out, to study, to be better. So if they don't have it, they just don't fucking do it. And that's where you fail. You have to learn to train your mind well beyond motivation. If you have motivation, that's great. That's some kindling to the fire. All it takes is a little bit of fucking spark, you can burn the whole forest up. But motivation, you have to learn to exist without it. You have to be your best self when you're least motivated. And that's the tricky part about all that shit. Motivation is just a word. You have to have these different things in your mind on where you want to go and know that motivation is not going to get me there. Because I'm not going to always be motivated.
Jocko said the exact same thing. He said that discipline eats motivation for breakfast.
And discipline is good too. But without a clear headspace, there's no discipline.
What do you mean?
So let's say we have a circuit breaker, okay? And I'm loading everything up to one fucking circuit. Just load it up. It's gonna fucking blow. And once that thing blows, man, the circuit's all fucked up. You gotta have each thing plugged into the right spot, like a fucking crowded garage. You can't put anything in it. Once your brain is crowded, discipline is great. Motivation is great. But if you can't fit shit in your brain because it's all fucking cluttered with shit, there's no discipline. You may have it sometimes when it fits in that crowded garage of your mind, but you don't have the consistency that you need to have with that discipline.
Here's the thing that they don't teach you in school is that being rich and being wealthy, they're two completely different games. And if you're in your 20s and 30s right now and you're kind of grinding for that high salary, then you might be playing the wrong game entirely. So when I was working full-time as a doctor, I was making $350,000 per year, right? It was a great salary on paper, but I was overworked. My shifts were 12 hours, sometimes 15 hours long. I was so busy that I barely had time to spend the money. And the thing that just kept bothering me was that the moment I stopped working, the money would stop coming in, which meant that I had zero leverage. I wasn't building something for myself. So I was rich in income, but poor in assets. And income without assets, that's basically just a high-paying job that you can't escape. But when Maddie and I transitioned to entrepreneurship, we were starting to work for ourselves. Not only were we making more money, but we were also building wealth that worked for us even when we weren't working. So our YouTube videos, they just kept bringing in more views, more sales, more clients. Our digital products kept generating revenue. I mean, we had some digital products that we stopped marketing for many, many months, and it still kept bringing in revenue. And so there are a lot of ways that you can build these kind of assets that work for you. One of my favorite frameworks comes from Naval Ravikant, and he breaks down these assets into 4 categories. First is capital. Capital is the old school kind of leverage. It's basically money. You need money to make money. That's a saying that we always hear. The second leverage is collaboration. You're working with other people. This is labor. This is hiring people to multiply your efforts. This is delegating work. It can get pretty expensive and hard to scale, but it is a form of leverage. But it's these last 2 forms of leverage that get really interesting, because it's been democratized. Like, everyone has access to these. And that third one is code, software, automation, AI, right? Build something once and it just works forever. And this is why tech founders can become billionaires. But there used to be a barrier to entry, right? You had to learn how to code to actually access this leverage. But now with AI, everyone's a vibe coder. If you spend a few hours to learn, you can probably vibe code some software that once took dozens of people to build. But the fourth piece of leverage here is content. It's something that used to be reserved for the elites or like the ultra wealthy, right? Like back then, people owned like newspaper, printing presses. You had to be like a big celebrity to even access the media. Nowadays, anyone can create content and anyone can create attention. And it's the attention that's actually the new form of cash. And content is the leverage that I use to escape my 9-to-5 job. You create once and you can distribute it infinitely. My videos that I made 3 years ago are still bringing in me business today with no extra cost. So thinking about leverage in this way was such a wake-up call for me, because rich means that you have cash flow, but wealthy means that you have assets that generate cash flow. And when you have things like code, content, collaboration, capital, all those things working together, you could lose everything tomorrow and still rebuild all your wealth back in a matter of months. Because at that point, you're not rich, you're wealthy.